So first of all, I'd like to thank Julian and Ritu for the my paradise, my little corner of paradise in the Northeast, which is quite unknown. And yeah, most of people already don't know about Northeast, and it's only after traveling 3-4 times in India that they get to know that, oh, this part of India is this part of the on the map is part of India actually. So actually Northeast is mainly dominated by hills. You can see on the pictures, it's quite a hilly terrain, and it's dominated also by the floodplains of the Brahmaputra. And it has been uh, restricted to foreigners for many years. Only at the beginning of the year 2000, we can see foreigners starting to come in this part of India. So it's very important to know that it has been elected one of the most important biodiversity hotspot in the world. Not only one, actually, it's two, because it's at the confluence of two biodiversity hotspots. One is the Himalaya, and one is the Indo-Burma. So I'm just going to show you a map so you can have a better picture of it. So you can see the Himalaya here in pink, and the other one is the Indo-Burma. So Northeast being here, it's just at the confluence divided by the Brahmaputra of the two biodiversity hotspot. It has among the 8 states of the Northeast, 37 national park and 137 wildlife sanctuary, which is huge in India compared to the other states. And about 850 species of bird have been registered among the 8 states, which are Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Sikkim, Manipur, Mizoram, and I think that's the 8. I haven't forgotten any. And among the 850 species of birds, we have 50 globally threatened and 30 near threatened species. And as I said before, it is quite preserved for mass tourism, as very people know about this part of India. So in terms of neighbor, we have Bhutan and Tibet on the north. We have Bangladesh on the southwest. We have the Siliguri corridor called the Chicken Neck, which is a band of 20 kilometers of land between Bhutan and Bangladesh. And then we have Burma or Myanmar in the southeast. So these are the 8 states of the Northeast. I'm going to start with the first one, which is Assam. As most of the people, when they reach the Northeast, they will land in Assam. So the main airport and capital is Guwahati. And the 2 other airports will be Jorhat and Dibrugarh. So when people arrive about 10 kilometers from the airport, they can reach the beautiful Hornbill, which is a Ramsar site of Assam, the first one in first bird sanctuary of Assam. And it has lots of different kind of bird species. For example, lots of kingfishers, fishing eagles, greater adjutant stork, whistling teal, open-bill stork, shoveler, pintail, and a high concentration of pheasant-tail jacana. It has also 12 species of lizards, 20 species of amphibians, 6 species of tortoise, and 18 species of snakes. Of indigenous fish in the Hornbill. On the right, you can see also the river in Kurkumara, which is about 1 hour drive west of Guwahati. And over there, the villagers and mainly the fishermen are protecting the river dolphin. So there's 3 spots in Assam, in the Brahmaputra and its affluent, where you can spot river dolphin. The 2 other spots will be Kaziranga and the third one will be Tinsukia. One of the highlights of the trip, and it's generally we keep the highlight for the end, but in that case, it's just at the beginning because Dadara village is just 20 kilometers from the airport. So after the airport, you just have to cross the Brahmaputra and you reach this beautiful village. Dr. Purnama Devi Barman here on the right has raised an army of villagers composed mainly by female, and their goal is to protect the greater adjutant stork, which is an endangered species. Most of the people go to the dump yard in Guwahati to go and spot it, but it's very stinky over there. So this experience is much more wholesome. This area hosts 75% of the global population. The only two other places to see the greater adjutant stork would be in Bihar and in Vietnam. So we have 75% of the population. So the highest chance to spot this beauty would be in Assam. And when you reach this village, you can also have a wholesome experience because you can be welcomed by the Hargila army. Hargila means bone swallower in Assamese, so it is the nickname of the bird. Most of the people find him quite ugly, but it's quite charming actually. And so you can have a local lunch, experience the Assamese food in a family, in a local family. You can see also the women in their free time. They will use their hand loom to create beautiful motifs on saris and scarves. Um, and just recently, they have campaigning also to patrol to avoid all the tall trees to be fell, because that's the trees that the bird is choosing to nest in his big trees. They also put nets around the tree in case of the chicks falling. It won't break his legs and he can survive the fall. For Diwali, they are campaigning also for people to avoid using crackers, to avoid to scare the bird. Um, they are doing many actions. Really, they are really involved in the local life, and they are doing an amazing job. So, guess they are really impressed to see like what they can do. So, by just going to this village, it promotes local handicraft, it promotes local culture, and it avoids to go to the dump yard. So, the next step in Assam will be Manas National Park, which is at the border with Bhutan. Bhutan has a Royal Manas National Park, and just on the other side we have the Manas National Park. So it's not only a UNESCO Natural World Heritage Site, it's also a tiger reserve, an elephant reserve, and a biosphere reserve. It lies on the foothill of the Himalayas, and Manas is name is because of the Manas River that flows through it. The river is the border between Bhutan and India. In terms of fauna, it has lots of different species. A few rhinos which have been transferred from Kaziranga. It is also the land of Assam roof turtle, his-speed hare, the golden langur that you can see here at the bottom right, and the pygmy hog. Pygmy hog, which is very difficult to see. It has a breeding center in Nameri, and they are every year releasing some pygmy hog in Manas. In terms of bird, the flagship species would be the Bengal florican here on the bottom right, which is quite easy to spot on the outskirts of the park. There is some very good guides who know where the bird is located, and they keep their distance to avoid to disturb them during courtship and during nesting. And also, it's a very good option for the Indian grass bird. It's even one of the best locations in the world to spot the Indian grass bird, which is also called rufous-rumped grass bird. In other species would be the swamp francolin, different species of hornbill, rufous neck and the rest hornbill. Babblers, it would be the marsh and Jerdon's babblers. Parrotbill on the pictures, the black-breasted parrotbill, pied hare, Roxon bushchat, rufous-vented laughing thrush, collared owlet, short-eared owl, spot-bellied eagle owl, and lots of different species from the foothills. There is also a forest bungalow inside where it's quite nice to picnic. It's by the river, and over there it's a good spot to spot the collared falconet. So the golden langur is mainly on the Bhutanese side, but there is also a sanctuary near Manas called the Chakrashila Wildlife Sanctuary, where it's quite easy to spot the golden langur. So in Manas, you can go for a jeep safari, you can go for river rafting also. So it's not white water, I mean, not big rapids, but it's good for birding. You can go to Bhutan. For people who don't have the permit, you can just cross the border for 1 or 2 kilometers. And you can also experience the tribal life over there. The main tribe over there is the Bodo people. Now we head to Nameri National Park, which is at the border with the next states of Arunachal Pradesh. It's wood duck, which is mainly spotted in Nameri, and also in Dehing Patkai, in the eastern part of Assam. And Nameri also has about 400 other species of bird. So compared to Manas, where you will have a bit more mix between mammals and birds, Nameri is really focusing on the birds. So you can see the river rafting also is possible in Nameri. It's quite soft, so you stop and slow down also to see the birds. So for the rafting, you can see some nice species like the Tibetan ibisbill, the great thickney, some merganser and cormorant, osprey, and oriental hobby. So generally we do jungle walk in the morning and come back to the camp for lunch, and in the afternoon will be rafting. So the main species I was talking about for rafting would be the Tibetan ibisbill and the great thickney. Around the camp itself, there is the main camp, the oldest camp. You can see hornbills also, rest hornbill, owlet, and there is a breeding center for pygmy hog. I was telling about just before. They are breeding the pygmy hog and then they are releasing it to Manas National Park. The next destination, which is the most famous, will be Kaziranga National Park, which is the land of the big five. So it's another big five compared to the one we just heard about in Bandhavgarh. The first flagship species would be the unicorn rhino. Kaziranga is the highest population of unicorn rhino in the world. The other places to see the rhino would be Manas, but a much smaller population, and in Chitwan National Park in Nepal. The 4 other species of the big five will be the Royal Bengal of tiger. We have one of the big density in India, but the big cat is much more shy than the rest of India compared to Ranthambore or Madhya Pradesh parks. You will see the cat for 4 or 5 seconds if you're lucky, and then it will go back to the jungle. The third species also would be Asiatic elephant, one of the biggest population in India of wild elephants. The eastern swamp deer, also one of the only places in India to see the swamp deer, will be in Kaziranga. And the wild water buffalo, it's one of the only place where you can see the pure wild water buffalo, because one of the main threat to this buffalo is actually the crossbreeding with the domesticated one. So in Manas and in Kaziranga, you can see the real one with very big, and it's actually much more dangerous than the tiger. It has a poor sight and it's charging quite easily. So there's much more accident with buffalo than with tigers. Just after Kaziranga, if you go a little bit more on the east, near Jorat, you have the Ulongapar Gibbon Wildlife Sanctuary. So the Western Ulong gibbon is the only ape species in India, and it's only located. You will find him in most of the states in the northeast, but in Ulongapar Wildlife Sanctuary, which is a very small sanctuary, it's about 20 square kilometers, and it's crossed by a railway track. It's one of the best places. Also, the park does not allow any jeep safari, so you have to walk inside the park and to go and see the different gibbon families. You sometimes need to go really in the jungle, follow the animal tracks, go into the elephant tracks. So you need a guard at any time to accompany you. Species of primates like the pig-tailed macaque, the stump-tailed macaque, the cap langur, and the Assamese macaque. The easternmost park of Northeast will be Dibrú-Saikova National Park, and I club it with Maguribil because it's just adjoining the park, and it's the biggest river island national park in India. It's quite famous for the feral horses. So actually, during the Second World War, the British troops have brought horses to this part of India to fight against the Japanese. And when the war was over, the horses got released back in the wild. So there is a population of wild horses now in Dibrú-Saikova. It's quite difficult to spot because you have to walk. First, you have to take a boat to reach the national park, and then you have to walk whole day to go to the place where they are safe. And grassland over there and wetland. So the main species of that the birders are looking for in Maguribil and Dibrú-Saikova would be the swamp prinia and the Jadon's babbler. Quite good population also of nocturnal bird, like you can see the brown oak here, and the scoop owl also. Oriental scoop owl is quite famous in this part of India. Dehing Pacquia has been on the highlight of newspaper recently because of it is home of 7 different species of cats. It has the tiger. It has the leopard cat, and some other species. Sorry, I've lost. Yes, fishing cat, and all they have been discovered by a camera trap. So it's quite difficult to and a total of 47 species of mammals, like the gibbon, the slow loris, pigtail macaque, Chinese pangolin, Himalayan black bear, porcupine, crab-eating mongoose, sambar, sun bear, binturong, barking deer. Bird, it's a very good spot for the hornbill. There's one of the smallest species of hornbill, the Ostensborn hornbill. The red-headed trogon, the rufous-throated fulveta, and the gray peacock pheasant, the straight wren babbler, many species. And it's not only in the forest, also in the Digboy campus, there are many spots for birding. So very few people know about this this national park, and it's very quite interesting to go over there. Now we go to Arunachal Pradesh. I hope I still have some time, Ritu. You let me know if I'm exceeding my time.
So just a minute.
Just a minute. Okay, so I'll just go to Eagle Nest Wildlife Sanctuary, which is really the mecca.
We're enjoying it, so you can keep going.
Okay, which is the mecca of bird watching in the Northeast. It's really a true paradise, and it's a really a nice part of the local community. to have preserved their forest and to have refused modernity for conservation, because the government wanted to build a big road which will be crossing their sanctuary, and they have decided to say no to the modernity, no to the road, to keep the wildlife at peace over there. So the flagship species will be the Bugun Leocicla, which has been only recently discovered, and it's the only place in the world where you can see it. So it has about 16 pairs of birds, and it's highly located. So it's very, very important for birders when they come in the Northeast to visit Eagle Nest. And it's only camping over there. So we have Swiss tent over there. So it's quite rustic. There's no attached bathroom, but for people who are really into birding, it's an incredible place. It's I mean, you can have back neck just by trying to locate the birds, because they are really everywhere, and they are much less shy than the other states of the Northeast. They are got used to not being hunted by the local community. So you can see they are very colorful, like the fire-tailed Misoni on the right, upper right. There is some places also quite famous. We call it the Tragopan Trail, where you can see two species of Tragopan. Beautiful species of nocturnal birds also. There's no restriction, so you can also go for night safaris. So it's there's a nice place for oxen frogmouth. And the guides are very, very good over there. And it's all year round. The park is open. So the autumn and winter, spring will be for birding. Then the monsoon will be for butterfly watching and for snake watching also. It's a beautiful park. Little bit north, you really get into the Himalayas. You can reach Dirang and Sangti. So after crossing the border of Arunachal Pradesh, which require a permit, you will reach Sangti Valley, which is famous for the black-necked crane. The only other place in India to see it would be Ladakh, and also in Bhutan, in the Gangte Valley. And it's also famous for the long-billed plover, which is quite species. A little bit on the west side, really at the Bhutanese border, you have Mandala, which we call Little Bhutan. When people are frustrated about not being able to go to Bhutan because of the high fees, it's about $200 to $250 per day. I really recommend them to come to this part of the world, because in terms of species, it's quite the same. You will find most of the species in Bhutan in this part of the world, and also the culture of the people. I mean, the Monpa tribe is really close from the Bhutanese tribe. They are used to cross the border, and it's really worth it. And the species you can see are really similar from the Bhutan, like the rufous-fronted tit, the white-bellied redstart, the red crossbill, the Temang's tragopan. There is also a small population of red panda, quite difficult to spot, but if you spend enough days on in this area, you'll be lucky to spot the red panda. Then you can go a little bit higher on the Stella Pass, which reaches to Tawang. Here we are very close from Tibet and to Bhutan. The path is about 3,500 meters high. And despite it being very cold and very a dramatic landscape, there's a lot of bird species to spot over there. The main species will be the snow partridge, the Grandala, the Gould shortwing, the Alpine accenter. So lots of species can be spotted there. So if you leave wrong, like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, you can reach the pass for sunrise. Action time in the Sela Pass. I continue with Pacquia Tiger Reserve, which is another beautiful conservation program, because you can see the Nishi tribe over there. They used to hunt the hornbill for their beak that they were using on their headgear. And now the hunters don't use their beak anymore. The one you see on the screen is actually a wooden one. And they have become nest protectors. So they are here to make sure that the trees are not fell and that there's no predators will go next to the nest, that the chick is protected, and that the male is coming to the female to feed the chick and the female after the chick has come out from the egg. So it has been one of my best memory in the Northeast when you can see the male hornbill coming to the nest to feed the female will be just sitting for months in the small hole that she will close with some mud to be about 2 hours, 30, 40 seeds and fruits that he will give back to his partner. It's a true symbol of love and dedication, because if the male is killed by a hunter or injured or eaten by another animal, the female is doomed. The female and the chick will not survive. It's a nice the Blythe kingfisher, which is one of the rarest species of kingfisher in India. The two other places where you can find it will be, at least in the Northeast, in Pacquia National, Pacquia Valley, sorry, in near Zero, and in Pacquia also. Good population also in Pacquia of gray peacock pheasant. In March, April, it's the mating time, so you can hear them like all over the jungle. And quite few mammals also, like crestless porcupine, also some clouded leopards. So you can go also by jeep or by foot inside the park. And I will finish quickly with Dibang and the Mishmi, the highest birding hotspot after eagle nest in the Northeast. So it's at the easternmost part of Arunachal, and there the bird species also are incredible. People will also try to go for the Sclatter's monal, which is very, very difficult to spot. But other species would be the rusty-throated wren babbler, which you can see the beautiful slender-billed scimitar babbler with his long beak. Short wing also that can be spotted in both area, Eagle Nest and Mishmi Hills. So I can continue like that. I have just covered very briefly two states out of the 8 states, if we include Sikkim. So I hope you enjoyed this short presentation, and let us know, Ritu, if you want us to maybe continue in a next session in a few months. Thank you.
Yeah.